Okay, I have started the recording. This is a public meeting. This meeting will be recorded and it will be made available on our YouTube channel. This is the Pod Management and VOLTHA FCAPS Brigade meeting for January 27th of 2020. I'd like to thank you all for joining. We'll get started with, how about Dinesh? Would you like to give your status, Dinesh?
Yeah, um, I I was working on Seba 890. I think Jira. It was basically to find out how much time it takes to collect the data. So initially, when I was collecting all the data, I realized that it was taking 1 minute and 2 to 3 seconds to collect the data. But then I broke it into different resources. We collect data like system chassis, Ethernet switch, and etc. And I found out that system and chassis wasn't taking much time. Only the Ethernet switch data collection was taking almost a minute. But then I started printing the data, and I saw that we are not receiving much of a data. So I think then I talked to Maddie on the call, and she said that she had not verified the actual data we received. She just verified the code goes through all the URLs to collect the data of the Redfish APIs, REST APIs. So I think she needs to take a look at it and find out why we are not collecting the data.
Yeah, that's good that we have detected that problem. So do you know, is she planning on looking into this?
I'm not sure. I didn't get any response from her.
Yeah, I think, if she doesn't look into it, perhaps we could assign you the task of looking into it.
Maybe we should discuss that on the Slack with her.
Yeah, let's have the three of us discuss on Slack, because it would be good to get to the bottom of that if we are missing data that we expect to be pulled. So you say the switch data is coming through, but the data for other devices like the OLT is not.
No. That in the Redfish there is a resource called. They have divided data into various resource type like chassis, system, and Ethernet switch. So we collect data from all of that. But in Ethernet switch case, it's basically collects data about all the ports. And periodically I see some ports and some not. So I think on that box there are some 54 ports or something like that, so we should receive all the data for 54 ports.
Okay, got it. So it's just the Ethernet switch, and you're getting some ports and not others.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And we also need to sanitize the data we collect, whether we collect the correct data and device sends the correct data or not. So people in Taiwan are on break for the Chinese New Year. So I think once they come back, then Maddie can check with them whether she is collecting the correct, whatever data she is collecting, it's the correct one or not.
Okay, good. Yeah, can you once you have your results on this benchmarking, can you write that up into like a slide or two and present them perhaps next Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great, just to summarize that data, and then maybe we can check the slide deck into the Google Drive folder so that we have that information recorded. So it sounds like basically you found that collection is pretty fast, and like a 15-minute interval, if we wanted to do that, would be no problem.
Yeah, I think 15 minutes wouldn't be any problem, but it's just that we should collect all the data, and I don't see that. That is my main worry.
Right. Yeah, we'll definitely want you to have your analysis done once we're getting everything and we can verify that everything is flowing.
Yeah, so right now I have commented out other data and only kept the Ethernet switch data. So I can focus on, we can focus on only Ethernet switch data.
Okay, good. So you have a plan for something to work on for the week then?
Yeah, but if Mehdi is working on it, then we need to rethink.
Sure. Yeah. Well, let's get on Slack after the call, and the three of us we'll see who divides up what work.
Yeah,
Anything else?
because
Go ahead, Dinesh.
because then we can collect the data for system and chassis, and then I can add that data into the document and see if we are collecting all the data or not. Means if some parameters are not right, then we need to confirm that.
Sure. Sounds good. Anything else, Dinesh?
No, that's what pretty much I was doing.
Okay, thanks. Next up would be Divya. Would you like to give your status, Divya?
Yeah, hi Scott. I'm working on logging implementation for OpenOLT adapter. The currently I am testing the changes with the after we had a design change discussion. So hopefully we'll try to merge it for the Gerrit review this week.
Oh, okay, that'd be great. So you're doing that. Who is doing the Volt CTL portion of the work?
Old CTL currently nobody is doing, and once I complete this part, and I'll only take up the old CTL part.
Okay, great. Yeah, because it seems like that'll be one of your primary ways to test the adapter related changes will be to, send various configurations through Volt CTL.
Yeah, but currently I am uh, means anyway both are independent to the data store, so I am writing some small functions to put a data inside the store and fetch it
Sure,
back. That
sure. That
like
sounds good.
how I am testing. Yeah.
So you would expect the OLT adapter changes to be in this week then?
Yeah. Hopefully I should submit it for a Gerrit review.
Okay, great. I'm just making a note. Yeah, thanks for all of the work on the multiple design revisions. I think that is going to turn out nicely.
Okay, thank you. And Girish will update the document. He was away last week, so he is going to update the Google document this week.
Sure, thanks a lot. And then once we get this working all end to end, the Volt CTL part and the adapter part, we'll plan on doing a demo to the Volta community to show it off.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I will plan that.
Do you know Rohan's status is
Rohan was working on other two tickets which are related to the log level that string int to string changes. So
sure.
one he has submitted for the Gerrit review. I guess that got merged, and another one is he has submitted for the internal review. So we all are very busy. Means I was away and Girish was also away last week, so we could not do it. So probably we'll do it to this week, and he will merge the changes by end of this week for the Gerrit review.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Divya. Any other status, Divya?
Uh, no, Scott, that's much.
Okay, I think next up would be let's see, I forgot to write your name down on no, I Dilip. Yeah, I should have done you before Dinesh. I'm trying to do these alphabetically.
It's okay.
Yeah, so Dilip, would you like to give your status?
Last week I looked at the Jira 10 VOL 1092. So that is getting the PM for the FEC performance monitoring. And what I did was what is the requirement on this Jira, and then what is currently working, those kind of things to see. And then based on the logs, I captured all that information onto the Jira. So all that is needed for this ME312 are working currently. So all the required information like the error code, like the corrected codes, like uncorrected, corrected, all the needed for the FIC forward error correction, right? So that is all working. So I captured them and then I closed that Jira. Apart from
Great.
that, yeah, apart from that, I'm still looking into getting the additional context into the um, uh, into the Kafka message. Like what I was looking is that do we need to have additional termination points, or whatever we have the current termination points has to be, that information is currently not there in the context. So how to put that, that kind of a thing I'm still looking. And about additional termination points, we still need to get some clarification regarding any other interfaces needs to be there. So I think we need to get to a hold of Chip. I think I didn't see him today on this meeting. Usually he'll be there. So maybe we should get hold of Chip or Matt and see we have to get this clarified.
Yeah, I pinged them in a message. Maybe it was on Friday to try to see what was going on, but I don't think I've received a response to that. Another person we can ask, who we may be able to get a response, if it's at least on requirements, if we need clarification on the requirements of the issue, we can ask Michael Gasser, and he usually we get a response fairly quickly from him. Although the response I think is often he wants everything collected. So I've kind of been leaning in the direction of, we just want as many TP points as we can on that particular issue. So yeah, let me, if I see Chip on in Slack, I'll try to get a hold of him. So we had that email thread going. Do I have all of the questions that you might have for Chip and Matt captured in that email thread?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, if nothing else, it'd be nice if we could get an email response to those focused questions, even if we don't need an actual meeting. But yeah, it would be nice.
It would be nice to have the meeting so that we don't have to go back and forth.
Yeah, it would be. Though, if people are tied up with something else and just unable to make a meeting slot, maybe the best we can do. We'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I would suggest just proceeding with, coming up with a way to get that TP context information into that Kafka message, just under the assumption we're going to want to do that. And then also look into what it would take to do other TP points, under the assumption that someone tells us we want to do more TP points, so that
Sure.
Once we get clarification that, we either have the code already done and we can just, turn it in, or we at least know what we need to do on that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, anything else, Dilip?
No, I guess I'll be on Slack, and then if I need more work, I will always look out and ask for Jiras.
Sure. Yeah. So you saw that one I sent your way on Friday that I need to find someone to do, the one that had to do with skewing. So that would perhaps be the next high priority thing to do. Yeah. So keep that one in mind.
Yes, I will. Sometime this week, I will pick that up.
Okay. Good. So that was it, Dilip?
Yes.
Okay, next up I think would be Ankar. Would you like to give your status, Ankar?
Yeah, Scott. So basically in last week, I was facing the issue like retrieving the parameter from the KPI value. So I have done that. And after that, I move on to the name proxy development. So basically all the name proxy development is like the code I have written it, and I have done one round of dev testing also. Now I'm doing a Dockerization of this name proxy stuff, basically containerization of name proxy stuff, and I'm adding a Docker Compose file as well as adding the services in by adding the services in Docker Compose as well as writing the Docker file also. So once I think I'm pretty in the end where I can able to finish this on demand test action implementation. So basically in this week I'm trying to complete it, and maybe I'll target it to give a end-to-end demo by next week, or maybe in this week also.
Yeah, that would be great. I think the community'd love to see a demo on that of our first on-demand API. So we're only doing the VOLTHA meetings once a week, I think. So if you're to do a demo, it'd have to be on a Tuesday, not the Thursday. So tomorrow is probably too soon for you, I'd assume, if you're still wrapping up. So maybe next Tuesday.
Yeah, maybe next Tuesday work fine for me. So I have the thing is that I have one question, like, so basically I wanted to check in this name proxy code to the open code the repository. So can I have this access to create this name proxy repository, or how it would be like? Is there any best practices for that?
So Zach, are you listing in?
Yeah. If you need a repo created, there's a request form. I'll paste it in the chat when I grab it. Give me a minute, and you fill that out, and it will that will send an email to me after I have all the information to get everything set up. Like if you need a Docker container created, or you need other things published from there.
Okay.
Yeah, so just fill it out the form. I'll get the link in the notes, or in the chat in just a minute.
Yeah, sure. Once I'll get the link, I'll fill it and send it back to you. Okay. So
Onkar, are you
Yeah.
creating the Helm charts and launching it through Kubernetes, or you are doing Docker only?
Yeah, so Dinesh, what we have decided, like I already had discussion with Scott. So currently our Seva version is pointing to 1.x Volta version, and whatever
got
the
it.
thing I have done, that it is in 2.x.
Yeah.
So maybe as of now we are moving with the containerization. Once the community is planning to point out to the Volta 2.x, then we are just ending up with updating the Helm charts so that it can launch with the Kubernetes.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, apart from this, Scott, I have raised a review request for the on-demand API services for Volta Go repository, as well as Volta OpenONU adapter, as well as PyVolta.
Yeah, I'm just jotting down some notes. So we've got Garrett reviews are ready.
Yeah, only name proxy stuff is remaining. So maybe in this week I can able to push that code also.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll try to get myself, and I'll try to solicit some others to review those changes to the Volta components. Thanks a lot on that, Onkar. Anything else to report?
No, that's it from my side. Yeah.
Next up, I think, would be Naga. Would you like to give your status, Naga?
Yeah, hi Scott. So for the alarm, ONU dying gas alarm, right? So for that, it was blocked with respect to the OpenOT agent, the BAL issue related. So that got resolved this week, and so they have tested itself. So I'm doing a one round of testing again by mocking it and update on this ticket. So that part is one pending with me. And the other thing is the 2293 or the 2456, which is the error handling along with the NNI port number crash. So this check-in is having some more comments from Girish today, and Andrew has given +1 for it. So this error handling changes has reflected with some more unit testing changes for me. So that part I am started doing it. So once the unit testing has been updated, I will check in that.
Hey, great. Thanks a lot on that, Naga. Yeah, so we'll have to see where we are in alarm stories, because I think we need to get the rest of the brigade working on those as well. So yeah, good work on those, and keep us updated on your notes on what procedures you're doing. I think you're still doing the same mocking technique you were doing before. Anything else to report, Naga?
Yeah, that's it from myself.
Okay, so I have a small amount of status to report myself. I did add an alarm simulation feature to BBSim, so that we can, by sending a command from BBSim CTL, that's the command line interface to BBSim, we can have it throw any of the ONU alarm messages to the, it'll throw them from BBSim to the adapter. They'll show up in Kafka. So for people who are working on alarm stories, that might be a useful feature for you to explore, so that you don't have to maybe do as much mocking of the agent and such, to be able to use BBSim instead to verify that the messages are going through the adapters. I would like to probably give a demo on that myself on one of the VOLTHA calls, either this week or next. I'm also working on augmenting VOLT-CTL so that it has a command that can easily visualize and summarize the events that it receives on the event bus. So kind of trying to put together an end-to-end solution, both for throwing alarms and visualizing them once they are thrown. So that's some of my status on what I've been doing. Let's see, I think that's everyone who is present today who has status. Does anyone else on the call have anything you'd like to add today?
No, I saw that you fixed maximum bugs, so congratulations.
You saw that I fixed what?
Maximum Jira issues.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Well, great. I'm very happy for myself. So I
Thank
take
you.
it we have a dashboard of this someplace?
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you, everyone. We'll be in contact during the week. And we'll have our meeting next week as well. Again, if you come across anyone who had wanted to join this call but had trouble with Zoom, or didn't know that it had been moved to Zoom, coworkers, managers, acquaintances in the community, just let them know it's been moved to Zoom, and if they had any trouble getting in, to let us know, and we can direct them to the right place. Well, I think we'll wrap up for today. Thank you, everyone, for attending, and talk to you later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.